The old man sat on the park bench, feeding the pigeons. He smiled as the birds fluttered around him. He didn't notice the young boy watching from behind a tree. The boy, Raju, was a thief. He saw the old man's fat wallet and planned to steal it. Raju crept closer, his heart pounding in his chest. The old man remained oblivious, lost in the simple joy of feeding the birds. Raju's hand trembled as he reached for the wallet. He'd done this many times before, but this time felt different. Just as his fingers brushed against the worn leather, the old man turned. Raju froze, fear gripping him, but the old man merely smiled, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "Hello, Sonny," he said kindly. "Would you like to feed the birds with me?" Raju mumbled a response and hesitantly moved closer. He couldn't understand why the old man didn't seem suspicious. He had expected anger, maybe even a chase. Instead, he was met with warmth and kindness. The old man, whose name was Mr. Gupta, chatted cheerfully as they scattered breadcrumbs for the pigeons. He talked about his life, his family, and his love for the park. Raju listened, surprised by the old man's openness and trust. Guilt gnawed at Raju's conscience. He had come to steal from this kind, gentle soul. The weight of his intended crime felt heavier with each passing moment. He looked at Mr. Gupta's kind eyes and felt a pang of remorse. In the following days, Raju found himself drawn back to the park. He couldn't stay away from Mr. Gupta and his stories. He learned that Mr. Gupta was a retired teacher, and he loved sharing his wisdom and experiences. Raju continued to struggle with his secret shame. He knew stealing was wrong, but the lure of easy money was strong. Still, he cherished the time spent with Mr. Gupta, listening to his stories and helping him feed the birds. Their unlikely friendship grew stronger each day. Mr. Gupta, unaware of Raju's inner turmoil, treated the boy with unwavering kindness and respect. This only intensified Raju's internal conflict, making his secret feel even heavier. One evening, as the sun began to set, Raju found himself alone with Mr. Gupta. The old man had shared a particularly touching story about honesty and integrity. Raju's heart ached, his conscience screaming at him. He knew he couldn't keep living a lie. He had to confess. With a deep breath, Raju blurted out his initial intentions, the words tumbling out in a rush. He revealed his past as a thief and his plan to steal Mr. Gupta's wallet on that first day. Silence hung heavy in the air after Raju finished speaking. Mr. Gupta sat very still, his eyes filled with a mixture of sadness and understanding. Raju braced himself for anger, disappointment, maybe even fear. But none of these emotions surfaced. Instead of anger, Mr. Gupta placed a hand on Raju's shoulder. "I am sorry you felt you had to resort to stealing, Raju," he said softly. "But I am glad that you told me the truth. It takes courage to admit your mistakes." Mr. Gupta's reaction surprised Raju. He had expected rejection, but instead he found acceptance. Mr. Gupta's kindness, even in the face of Raju's deceit, touched the young boy deeply. It was in that moment that Raju truly understood the power of forgiveness. Raju reached into his pocket and pulled out the money he had stolen in the past. He wanted to return it to make things right. He knew it wouldn't erase his past mistakes, but it was a step towards redemption, a way to honor the trust Mr. Gupta had placed in him. Mr. Gupta refused to take the money. "Use it to make a fresh start, Raju," he said. "Choose a different path, a better path. I believe in you." His words, filled with hope and encouragement, sparked a newfound determination in Raju's heart. From that day forward, Raju turned his back on his life of crime. He found an honest job and used his earnings to help those in need. He visited Mr. Gupta every day, sharing stories and laughter. The park, once a hunting ground for a young thief, became a sanctuary of friendship and redemption. Raju never forgot the kindness Mr. Gupta showed him. It was a constant reminder of the transformative power of trust and forgiveness. He learned that even a thief could find redemption, not in the shadows of deceit,